I mean, you at least embody the essence of this podcast with what you've gone through for the past, 40 minutes trying to get on here.
My wife is in London on a business trip. So we're solo dadding, and she just didn't want to go down tonight. Last night it was perfect. I was like, I'm gonna test run this. She was down at like 8:02, walked out of the bedroom. I was like, perfect. It's gonna be perfect for tomorrow. Today we're dialed. It was great. No fits, no temper tantrums, and 47 minutes later, we're here.
All right. Welcome back to Scrambling Dads Podcast. Today's guest is living proof that good things happen when you mix golf gear and great hair. He entered the golf community back in 2021, worked with Dick's Golf Galaxy PXG, now with TaylorMade, which either means it's he's very impressive or he's just good at interviews. Either way, he is easily, and I checked this stat, easily the best looking guest we've ever had.
Fact. Love that.
Fact.
Love that.
So everyone, welcome Mikey B to Scrambling Dads Podcast. So
Thanks
Mike,
for having me.
how do you feel to be the best looking guest here?
Hey, it's a low bar, but we're in. We'll see. It's on you guys to keep that title for me. So we're good. We're off to a good start.
Well, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. I mean, you at least embody the essence of this podcast with what you've gone through for the past 40 minutes trying to get on here.
Yes. So I have a soon-to-be 2.5-year-old, and my wife is in London on a business trip. So we're solo dadding, and she just didn't want to go down tonight. Last night it was perfect. I was like, I'm gonna test run this. She was down at like 8:02, walked out of the bedroom. I was like, perfect. It's gonna be perfect for tomorrow. Today we're dialed. It was great. No fits, no temper tantrums, and 47 minutes later, we're here.
I'm sure you made sure to have dinner right on time, PJs right on time. You did everything by the book just so you can get on and you see what happens.
Oh, it was perfect. We had dinner together. I made mine. She ate hers. Bath was perfect. No tantrums. It was great. I should have known if I had a hard out that it was going to be a struggle. But we're here. We're dadding.
It's literally golf. Like, you got everything set up. You got your game plan. Everything goes great first round, second round.
Yeah. The minute you hit that first slice off the tee, all plans go astray.
It's the quick left for me.
Quick left. All right.
The hook left. Yeah, it was great when Mike and I traveled and played together because we both missed left. So, makes it easy for carts.
Cart buddy.
Partners.
Golf.
Well, before we get into asking you what we want to, I think last week, Jason and I somewhat talked about what you do for a profession, and I think we have some questions for you, and I know you listen to what's in our bag, and I'm sure you have some things for us, but we're gonna do a little icebreaker here. Got rapid fire questions, and when I say rapid fire, I just want you to shoot from the hip here. Let's get your gut reaction. Number 1, Miss Rachel or Blippy?
Miss Rachel.
Okay, controversial there. Change blowouts for a week or miss any putt outside of 2 feet on your next round?
It's tough. I'm about to get that whole newborn thing again. Outside of 2 feet?
Yeah, you miss everything outside of 2 feet.
I'm missing putts. It's fine.
All right. Play 9 holes or practice 2 hours?
Play 9 holes.
On-course drink of choice?
Transfusion. Double
transfusion. I like it. Music or no music?
Music.
All right. Now we're going to get into the tough ones here. More chaotic, your front 9 or your toddler's bedtime?
On average, my front 9, because usually I have help here for bedtime. Today, well, let's say I played 9 holes like 4 days ago. On Sunday, shot 40. We're pushing that. That's a push.
All right. What is your kid's handicap in public behavior?
Ooh. In public behavior, she's probably scratch. Maybe a plus.
Good. That's really good.
Yeah. It's inside where we have the issues.
Yeah.
I need to know what y'all are doing. My kids are not a plus. All right. Harder to plan your next golf outfit or date night?
Date night.
They didn't even hesitate.
Didn't even hesitate. More patience required. Long par 5 or getting shoes on your toddler?
We're starting to do shoes on our own now.
Okay.
So probably par fives, because I'm totally patient when she's putting on shoes. She might lose patience and then just say, Daddy, help.
Okay. That's fair enough. I got 2 more here for you. So a hole in one or your kid to nap on time without a fuss for an entire year?
Nap. Hole in
with you
one's
there.
luck. Anyway, don't have any. Doesn't affect me.
All right. This one, just, tell your wife to skip over this part. What's harder to read? The green or your wife's face when you ask her if you can golf?
Oh, the green. It's easy. Most of my golf is Monday through Friday. So I'm golfing on the weekend for a special occasion.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, good. Well, we're glad to have you. Thanks for entertaining me here for a second. So tell us about yourself here, Mike. Tell us what you do. Tell us your passion for golf and how you got into it, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so I didn't start playing golf until I was probably 21-ish, 21, 22, somewhere around there. And then from there, it was like, that's the thing to do, out of high school. Like I lived in North Carolina, so the weather's always great, great golf courses everywhere. So started playing golf there. Probably didn't take it super serious until probably 2017, 2018-ish. And then from there, it's kind of taken off. And then so working in corporate America, grinding that way. And then COVID happened. I got laid off, and my wife has a great career. So she was like, you know what? It was just the two of us at the time. It's like, I can support us. Go do something you want to do. So at the time we lived in Pittsburgh. I walked into the Dick's Sporting Goods that was right there, started working in the golf department. Spun that into when I moved to Houston, I worked in a Golf Galaxy. Spun that. The store I was in closed. They were rearranging the market. So I was in Houston. There was like 5 stores, which is a ton for Houston. So they went down to 4. And I took that opportunity to go start fitting with TaylorMade. Fit TaylorMade in Houston for a year and a half-ish. And then we moved from Houston to DC. And that's where I did my year with PXG, which was fantastic. And then PXG, we moved from DC to Vegas. And I got back with TaylorMade here. And then I'm about to move to Texas again. So we'll see what happens on that move. But moving so much, it makes it really easy to stay in golf because there's golf everywhere. We've lived in major cities, so it hasn't been incredibly stressful to stay in golf. This next one might be pushing it a little bit because we're going to a little bit of a smaller town, but I'm hopeful, so we'll see. But yeah, ever since I kind of got the bug, like trying to solve the puzzle. So for me, fitting is a huge puzzle. You're problem solving every day. I see you for an hour, right? So I have an hour to solve your puzzle. But then I have someone right behind you that has the same problem, but it's a different puzzle. So I'm solving puzzles all day. So it's the same thing, but everybody's different. So that always kind of keeps you engaged and keeps you going. And then there's so many things. There's so many brands and so many shafts and so many things, and everything changes. So it's hard to get bored. So that's probably the best thing about it.
Well, I ask one question, but then I have some other stuff on like the family side. But when it comes to fitting, do you enjoy solving that puzzle with someone that can speak the language, someone that's experienced, has been through a fitting process, or maybe a better golfer? Or do you kind of like taking someone that doesn't know what they don't know and educating and fixing that puzzle for them?
I don't think it really matters because like you know what you're talking about. But if we can solve that problem in a clearer way, the light bulb still goes off.
Uh-huh.
And then if you have someone who doesn't know anything, is a 25 handicap, and it just wants to hit good shots, you can still achieve the same light bulb moment. So it's fun both ways. I think when you get like a really, really good player, like a plus, like a really good ball striker, those fittings are, in my opinion, way easier because you're really just asking for feel. Right? They've probably played the same shaft in the same style head for the last, 10 years. They're just looking to change something really small and really minor. So those you can dive deep into those because they're going to hit the center of the face every time, whether it's woods or irons. And it's really just, hey, how does this feel? Does that look good? With a higher handicap, it's, hey, we're hitting that higher, it's straighter. There's
You're all good.
different bars to clear. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. Like from a parenting standpoint, one question I had for you, because Jason and I talked about this in our first episode. You know, I talked about my moment of clarity and golf with a kid was when I was, holding my son and realized that, I wanted to pass on golf to my children. That was a way to grieve my dad passing, since that was something him and I did together. So a question I had for you was, how has becoming a parent changed your relationship with golf and your perspective on it?
I think I'm more like meaningful when I go. For me, it's a little bit different because in golf in general, in my career, my days off are usually Sunday, Monday. So my golfing days historically have been Mondays or Tuesdays. So it's a little bit easier because I don't have to make the 6:30 a.m. Saturday time and get up at 4 o'clock and go work out and then go golf and then come home and dad all day. For me, if I'm playing on Monday, it's like cool. I can wake up, get her to daycare, I can take my time. So it's a little bit different because I've probably played a handful of weekend rounds since he's been born. Like literally probably like five, not counting my annual golf trips. So it's a little bit different. Like I'm not taking time away from her to go play. So it's a little bit different. But I really, as much as I want to like push her to go play golf, I think it's really going to be if she wants to go, she can go. And if not, then I'll go play on Monday.
Do you see any value in the lessons golf teaches to pass on to her, even if it's not, her playing golf, but just general life lessons that you may get?
Yeah, I think playing any sport has life lessons. Golf is you're on your own. You need to be accountable and you need to be true and the ball does what it does and you've got to go deal with that. In other team sports, you have teammates that can pick you up. On golf, it's you, right? You got to pick up the bag and you got to walk it. So I think there's things to learn in everything. I mostly played team sports. I mean, I did until I was 20 when I started playing golf. So it was the first time I'd been like, oh, it's just me out here. Like there's nothing else to do. Nobody else to blame. It's like I got to fix this. So I think there's lessons in golf, but I think there's lessons in everything, like sports wise and team wise.
Yeah, I would generally agree with that.
Yeah, and I think for me specifically, one less thing I don't have to think about is equipment, right? Like there's never a thought in my head is this right? Do I need something else? Because I have access to a launch monitor. Like I get my stuff, I'm dialed by like March, and then the rest of the summer, just like if I want to tinker with something or if I want to like try something new, I can do that. But that's the thing I try to get most people that come in and want to get fit is we're taking golf is hard, right? As many variables as you can remove, let's remove them. Equipment is huge. You have 14 clubs. You might get lucky and a set that you bought on eBay is perfect. Or you got terribly unlucky and it's ruining your golf experience.
Yeah, that brings up a good point. We can, I'm going to say hypothetical, but it happened today, right? I'm at PGA Superstore. I had to go buy some balls for a round I'm playing this weekend. And I was like, I've been toying with this 5-wood idea. I mean, you know that. You and I have talked about it and all of this stuff. So anyways, I was like, what do they have in the pre-used? And anyways, there was a TaylorMade Sim, original 5-wood with a Ventus shaft. And it generally fit my profile. Hit it. Loved it. So what can that scenario take someone that's, I'm going to say, a little less in the know than I am, because I know generally the data, and someone that doesn't know any of that, and they're going to PGA and they're just picking up a club and they want to get into this cheap. That 5-wood was $100. They're trying to get into this cheap. What do they need to look for? How do they need to think about what fits them?
So in that specific example, like I think PGA Superstore is a good spot to start there because last time I checked, they do free fittings. And if it's not, it's like $50. $50 is totally worth the investment to say, even if you're not going to buy anything, hey, this is the iron shaft, this is the head that works best, this is the wood shaft. You can take that information and say, okay, so generally I need something that's very similar, if not the same, to this shaft. And then you can kind of go find it from there. I think the biggest mistake people make is golf is very expensive to get into. And if you skip the fitting part and go straight to, my buddy's got these, or I've got this in the garage, or I found this super cheap, you can kind of spiral into a place where you're replacing clubs over and over and over again because you're trying to search for something. When in reality, if you would have just gone and gotten fit and even bought something used, like I said before, like you know what's going to work. This works in a setting. So like I try to steer people to, hey, whether you buy something from me or not, you've paid for this fitting. Here is your information. Do with it as you will. It has everything listed. This is the shaft that works best. If you want to go on eBay or Superstore or wherever and go find it used, that's fine. I'm way more into a spot of I want you to enjoy playing golf and not just be chasing something because you want to get something cheaper. Yeah, as a fitter, I want you to buy the newest thing that I just fit you for, but I would much rather you go enjoy and play golf and then come back to me and say, hey, I trusted you. You didn't try to sell me something. I want to buy this from you now.
Yeah. So when you say do what you will, you paid for it, go if you want to buy it off eBay. Where do you think you fall on the spectrum of fitters that actually say that or get offended because you don't want to buy something from them?
For me, I think it's different. So I've been in some commission-based roles and some non-commission-based roles, right? If it's non-commissioned, obviously it doesn't affect me at all. If it is, sure, it affects me a little bit, but I would much rather you build that relationship with me and say, hey, you know what, Alex, this is what works best. You said you wanted to go look for it. That's fine. If you have any questions, let me know. Like you leaving that fitting and saying, you know what, that was a really good fit. He didn't try to push or sell me on anything or, make it seem like buying something used was bad. Next time you're going to go buy something, who you're going to call first, right? And so I may not get the first one, but I'm going to get the next one. And then the rest of them, like you're going to come to me and you're going to tell your friends and they're going to come to me. So by taking the hit on the first one, I'm going to get the rest of them. So like I said, I'm more of, I want the person that's coming to see me to leave with a good experience and not to feel like I'm a used car salesman, right? Like you can come in and you see me, I'm going to do my thing, whether you're going to spend $5,000 or spend nothing. And then if you want to come do something in the future, that you're going to remember that good experience and say, you know what, let me call Mike. Let me see what he's got going on. Let me go that route. And I think building that trust off of the first experience is the key to keeping someone to come back through their golf career, right? People are golf junkies. You're always tinkering. You always want to buy something, right? And if you have a good relationship, it's super easy to just say, text me, hey, I want to buy this. Great. I'll call you for your credit card. I'll ship it out. It's done, right? Like
Yeah.
for me, that's the fun part is when Alex goes, hey, I'm looking
Sounds
at
familiar.
I'm looking at a mini. Like, what do you think? We text for 10 minutes. Cool. It's at your door in 5 weeks. Let's go.
Yeah.
That
That's about how it went too.
literally what you described is what Alex and I talk about with what he has going on in his bag, his gear, and his stuff like that. But yeah, I'm a gear junkie and things like that. But there's something you mentioned that I've been, obviously, Alex knows, I've toyed with a lot. And when you said, it's like, sounds like you would say, when you want to fit somebody, you're going to target the shaft before like a very forgiving size iron head or something like that. Like, where would you fit most people between shafts to iron heads in respect to like the 790s versus like the 770s, and then depending on if they're the same handicap and of
Yeah.
course with the shaft.
So you got to think like, so in those two examples, like most people, right? 8 out of 10 people that, maybe not 8, but 7 out of 10 people that come to me for a fitting are going to end up somewhere between 2 heads almost immediately. But then that person, there's probably 7 or 8 shafts that person would fit in just kind of after a couple swings. I always kind of look at it as, again, going back to your example of you're at Superstore trying to find something. If you buy something without any knowledge and you get the club head wrong, but the shaft right, it's way more fun to play golf than if you got the head right and the shaft wrong. Realistically, the shaft is the thing that times everything up on delivery, on how the ball comes off the face. With iron specifically, you're going to walk in and there's going to be 2 heads that you're going to be in between almost immediately based on what you have and based on what you're looking for. Rarely does someone come in and we swing from blades to game improvement or vice versa, right? Most people are kind of in the ballpark that they're the sandbox that they're supposed to be playing in. We may just go a head smaller or a head bigger, but most of the time, the shaft is really where you see the biggest difference.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but my opinion is the better you get, the easier it is to fall into the wrong club, because that 5-wood shaft that I had today was stiff, 60 gram, not heavy enough for me, but I can make it work because you know how to swing a club and you are looking at your good shot to good shot, not your bad shot to bad shot when you're doing 5 swings. So it would have been easy for someone to, oh, well, I hit 3 out of 5 good, so I'm gonna move on and buy this club, and it's probably not the right shaft for me.
I think it is easier for a better player to make that mistake because you know what your ball flight's supposed to do, and being a good golfer, you can manipulate almost anything to make it do what you want. Like you think like we could switch clubs. Mine are longer, different line angles, but like you could generally make it work after you hit like 5 or 10 balls. If I gave my clubs to someone that plays the same length as you, that's a 25 handicap, they couldn't keep it on the driving range. But because you're a better player, it's like, okay, well, I know I need to do this to get the ball on the start line that I need to, and going that way. But generally, I think better players, again, you know, it's not heavy enough, it's not stiff enough. Like you know all those things, so you buying that is just because you want a 5 wood, right? Like most bad golfers don't go in there and be like, you know what, I kind of want a 5 wood. I know this isn't right, but like I'm gonna do it anyway.
Well,
He's gonna call you up for a 5 wood here in about a month.
I might. I want to be very clear here because in exactly 7 days, my wife is going to listen to this and she's going to look in my bag and see if I did not buy a 5 wood today. I walked out of that store empty-handed other than balls and tees.
Oh, it's because you have it hidden in the corner of the garage.
No. My boys are with me and they will vouch for me. Granted, they'll probably throw me under the bus to see me get in trouble, but
Yeah, probably.
no, I walked out of that without a 5 wood. Thought about
So
it.
you've got driver that you don't like, you love mini, and then what's next?
Well, let's back up. I have a driver that I have a love-hate relationship with because when it is working, it is a very good club to have in my bag. And I went to the range the other day and I choked up on it and I started hitting it a little bit straighter. So that confirms the theory that I think I need to cut it down. But anyways, it's a driver, mini, and then I have a 2-iron.
Do you have a driver mini 2-iron? Okay. I guess you live in North Texas, so you kind of need the 2-iron.
Yes and no. I mean, I can flight down if I need. But here's the deal. Right, I don't care about. I'm gonna 275 plus. I don't care about that from an aspect of attacking a green. So
you should never have that number though. Like unless you're playing from like, I've seen you hit it. So like you got to be playing from like 73 and change to have 280 into a par 5.
There's some. Well, I think it's more a strategic par 5 that forces a dog leg and not a driver off the tee. Stuff like that. Yeah. But yes, you're right. It does not happen often. So I'm targeting, you start getting to that, I'm going to say 255 to 265, 270 window. And that's the club that I'm trying to find because my 2-iron carries about 255, but it's a bullet with low spin. And when I'm, like last year when I was really, really playing, or actually this winter, when I was in between jobs and I was playing a lot and I was practicing literally every day. So like my trajectory with my 2-iron, I could high, low, cut, draw. It was my safety club. I took that off a lot of par 4s because my driver was so sporadic. So when I'm really putting the work in, the 2-iron is a proper club for me. But now that I'm back to working and touching my clubs maybe once a week other than a round, I have one shot shape with it and it's a flat draw.
Yeah. So what you could do, there's 2 options there, right? You could do a shorter 5 wood, right? Like in length, or a longer 7 wood. You're basically looking for like a 6 wood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can hack it either way. You can do a long 7 wood or a short 5 wood.
Could go to a 7 wood, turn down and loft, open the face, still give me the spin I want. And I generally do actually with my woods like to play a fade. The mini driver, which is something we texted a little about, I cannot fade that thing. Cannot. It is a draw club. I don't have a right miss. And it's weird because I like fading my driver and everything, and I draw my irons.
I mean, there's some things you can do with the weights, but it's always nice to have 2 shot shapes off a tee, right? If you're going to fade driver, most people will draw 3 woods anyway.
Okay, fair.
So you can do that. You can also move the weights. Like there's the 4 movable weights in that head. You can throw some heavy weight in the toe, leave the face open. Like I know it sits closed, and when you opened it and went lower, it was weird.
Yeah, I changed it back. I went to the range this afternoon and I actually moved it back to the 13.5 and I started hitting it better already. So that's where it needs to live. It just sets up a little closed, which I'm fine with. It takes out the right side of the course.
Just got to set up better with your ball position and your stance. open
Yeah,
the stance up a little bit, weaken the grip.
that's all off anyways.
Don't worry
man.
about the club. Let's work on you.
It's funny because I was pushing everything today, and a week ago I was missing everything left. So it's weird. Like now, all of a sudden I'm pushing and little fades. Anyways, my son's with me, and I was like, "Hey, Trip, am I aiming right? Am I doing this? Am I doing that?" He's like, "No, you're aiming fine." He comes over here and does this whole 5-minute analysis of, "Am I aimed in the right spot?" And anyways, I swing, and man, my divot is like 45 degrees off. And granted, I have the GoPro going. And so anyways, I look at the video, which I guess I could have done in the first place. And I'm aimed exactly where my divot's going. I looked at him. I was like, "Dude, you told me I was aimed there." He's like, "Oh, I really don't know." I was like, "Thanks."
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
Then why did you even come
I didn't know you were going that way.
Yeah, I literally told him exactly what I was aiming to. I was like, come on, man. I brought you for a reason. You're supposed to be helping me here.
I do want to touch back. So I listened to last week's episode and then 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago was the what tees should you play from conversation, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I listened to it and I literally wrote something down on a Post-it note to make sure I brought it back up. And I've seen some people do this, right? But I think the best way to pick a tee box is whatever number you're trying to break, whether it's 100, whether it's 90, whether it's 80, or if you're tournament prepping, it's like 68 or whatever you need to shoot, right? You start in the forward tees, and when you break that number, you can move back. So I broke 80 for the first time like a month ago, right? So in that scenario, 80 is my number. Cool. Now I can move back and play it from the tips or whatever. I think I played one up when I did it that day. So for most people, it's like, well, I want to play the back or the blues. It's like, no, if you're looking to break 100, start from the front. And when you break 100, you move back. And then when you break it again, move back. And then you start, okay, 90. Now I'm going to start forward again. I think most people don't want to play forward. It's just like this thing. It's like, I want to play the back because I paid for my round today or whatever. It's like, no. Like, I need to go shoot. Like, if you're prepping for your tournament in a couple weeks, you probably need to go shoot somewhere in the 70 ballpark. So it's like, hey, if I'm tournament prepping, I'm going to start my prep 5 rounds ahead of time. I'm going to start up front. And when I break 70, I'll move back. Like, you can slide back. I think that's the best way to figure out what tees you should be playing. Or the other thing is nothing more than a 6-iron into a par 3.
Yeah, no, that's really good perspective to hear. And I think it changes your tactics. I think Jason brought that up last time when we actually had this conversation. It changes your tactics. And if you move up, it's also probably not a driver on every tee, right? You're not, just because it is a drivable par 4 now because you're playing the up tees doesn't mean you should take driver.
And it gives you a feeling of scoring, right? You understand, cool. All right, I made a birdie there. All right, I made another one. Okay, cool. Let's go make another one. Because you're right, like par 5s are always reachable from the front. Par 3s are little flip wedges. It's like, I should be able to break 80 from the front tees.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I played 2 days ago, and you might have some input on this. The group in front, and I'm all about learning golf. Guys, get into it. I was a rookie at one point, but they were playing obviously at an inappropriate tee box, and they started looking back at us because we would be driving up and we're not saying anything. But how do you go just recommend, just like telling people, like, especially the guys who are coming in, getting fit, and you're trying to fit them in the right club, and then it's like, maybe, hey, where did you play, or were you planning on playing? What advice would you just tell them that, just like, hey, make sure you start at the front tee, or play, or do they get the ego trip of, oh, I'm paying for it. Oh, the Reds front tees are the ladies' tees. I'm not going to be there. And we're in there waiting 10 minutes just to even hit, because they're hacking up, drop another ball, hit another one, because they're trying to learn the game. So there's like a fine line of learning the game, playing the right box, and trying to have a good time. So when you get new customers coming in, do you give them that advice?
I think it's much harder for that conversation to happen with a customer because you're not on the golf course with them, right? You're on the driving range. I think it's a conversation you have to have like as a buddy. Like, if you're taking your friend out that doesn't know how to play golf, I'm not going to go play the backs or the one-ups. It's like, I'm going to go play up with you. Like, we're here to have a good time, right? We're playing on a weekend. We've all got other stuff to do. No one's practicing. Like, why are we playing from 7,000 yards and your buddy can't break 100? I mean, I think I get into it all the time. Like, most of the time when I go play, I play one up just because I can hit it doesn't mean I should, right? I think it's just you get into a habit of, all right, I'm going to play the backs because I'm playing at Bethpage or I'm playing at Pinehurst, so I should play the back to get the real experience. It's like, no, I should play like two up probably, play it at like 6,000 and enjoy myself.
I think go to Oakmont.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm playing Fields Ranch in a couple of days here, and we talked about that for like we did that league night, and that course can play out to 75, 7,600 or something like that. And do you think we're going to do that? No, we're going out for a twilight round. We're gonna have music going. We're gonna have a couple drinks, and we'll probably play the 3s or 4s. And I felt like a jerk this time last year when August I think 5th was the US Mid-Am qualifier, so I was in the heat of really trying to ramp up and score, and I'd go play with friends and they'd be like, well, we're going to play the 2 up, and I'd be like, well, that doesn't really help me. I need to be playing the tips, I need to be working on my driver, and if I go 2 up, I'm not really getting driver work today. So I was always playing a tee by myself, and for an 8-week period I just felt like an absolute jerk, and I hated it. And because I'm with you, like if I go with friends, I'm playing whatever they're playing. I don't care.
Like I think if you're prepping for something like that, unless you're specifically working on driver, it doesn't do anything because you still got to hit the wedges and you still got to putt.
Oh, and if anything, it actually gives you a different variety of shots into the green. Because to your point, when you're talking about par 5, I should never have 280 in. You're right. I usually don't. But it might give me, that 4-iron into a green that I don't often hit, or it might give me a flip wedge because I'm playing the 1 up and now I'm in 50 yards, and maybe those little half wedges are a trouble spot for me. So it starts to get you hitting other clubs as well.
Especially if you play the same place over and over again. Like if you're a member somewhere, or if you and your buddies have your Saturday morning, we're going to go play the same course every week. Like it makes a bunch of sense because like the course doesn't change. Like the conditions will change, but like the layout's not going to change. So if you've played that course 8 weeks in a row and you're playing the same tees for the 8th straight week, like what are you really getting out of it?
Dude,
right? You're just kind of going through the motions.
No, that is 100% true. When I was a member at the club near my house, 2 things happen, right? You get on autopilot. You're like, oh, I always pull this club, so I'm just going to hit this club, right? And that happens most of the time. The second part to that is you create a tremendous amount of scar tissue. Like there are holes that I will go play now that I'm not a member and haven't been for 3 years. I will go play that course with a buddy, and I will get holes that are very easy and should be easy and still mess them up because I have scar tissue from when I was a member, and I never played it well because I was a worse golfer at that time, or because I had a different miss at that time. And even though I don't have a right miss now, guess what I do on that hole? I hit it right. Like it is, you get into the lull of the same course and making the same decisions over and over.
Yeah, and I think that's why like changing tees is fun. Like it shouldn't be like, oh my God, I'm gonna go play the forward tees, but I have 170 ball speed. Like, so golf is supposed to be fun. Like I don't play around without music. I don't play around without a drink or two. My shirt's untucked. We're not out here making money. Like that's not how I make my money. So I'm gonna spend it and enjoy it. So that's what we're doing.
And Mike's part of that new generation that we were talking about earlier, Jason.
Oh wait, so he's a few years younger than me.
He's a few years younger than me.
Oh my gosh, I'm the old man here.
I thought you were younger than me. How old are you?
37.
Oh yeah, you're a year
there
older
you go.
He's a year and a half older than me. Okay, no, I thought you were younger than me for some reason. So I'll carry up the young. I mean, granted, I'd look older. I got gray hairs in my beard, and I'm bald.
I got gray hairs in here. I'm not bald though. There's a full head of hair, but I don't want to get headphones.
That is a full head of hair over there. That's awesome. That's it's tough. Getting fit is tough. We talked a lot about lie and loft. That's something that not many people understand. Really messes with your swing, or at least your trajectory. So what do you say the first thing someone should get fit getting into golf? What is their very first thing they should? Because a whole bag probably isn't going to happen for an entry-level person.
No. I think the first thing, if you're starting brand new, are the irons, right? You're going to hit the irons more than anything else, minus putter, right? If your putter is going to be half your strokes, roughly, if you're a borderline, like middle of the road golfer. But that's not as big as an expenditure as a driver or a set of irons. I think you brand new, get a set of irons that you're totally fit for. Because realistically, if you want to move up a tee box, you can hit 4-iron off the tee, and you're going to be generally in the same spot as if you hit driver from the back tees. So it doesn't really change kind of what that looks like. But I think because you get 7 or 8 of them and they're properly fit, like you can pretty much get around anywhere 4 through pitching wedge, 1 or 2 wedges, which you can probably find pretty cheap. But irons are going to be the biggest thing. Driver's super hard to hit. 3-wood is super hard to hit. For somebody beginning, get a set of irons. I'll move up a tee box, hit 4-iron off the tee, and then kind of go from there.
Jason, there we go. For our next video, we got to do 9 holes of irons only and a putter.
Hey,
No
I've
wedges,
done
no
that.
driver, no woods.
Yep,
You'll
I've done
probably
that.
shoot something similar.
Oh, I
That'd be fun
probably
to
will,
see,
or
actually.
worse.
You
mentioned
mine
the,
will probably be better.
Yeah. You made a good point, because this is a spot that I've actually struggled with in my bag that I've talked with Alex with. Is I have an iron set that has a 4, which it's okay. But then it's like, do I go hybrid or 7-wood? And right now I'm currently gaming a 7-wood because I think I probably might answer my own question here, but it gives me more confidence. But is there data to support a better choice depending on the player, or would you just say if they're just go 7-wood and skip the iron and the hybrid? Like, how would you steer?
A question that I always ask is, what's the longest iron that you like to hit?
Mm-hmm.
Because then that's like, you can ask someone, hey, they say, you know what? Well, I use my 4-iron to like punch out when I'm in the rocks or under a tree. Like, great. So that's not useful, right? When I'm building a bag for someone, it has to be 14 functional pieces. Doesn't just have to be 14. It could be 12, but they cover all the gaps. But each individual club has to have a function, right? If you're just using it to punch out, great. Take it out of your bag, use 5-iron. Same thing. But the thing we look at as fitters is height. So if you're struggling with 4-iron, right? If you're hitting low bullets, it's probably time to change, right? If you have a carry gap that's super close between 4 and 5, 4-iron needs to change. Whether you go hybrid or wood, in my opinion, it's player preference. I prefer woods over hybrids. I hit hybrids millions of miles left. So it's, again, scar tissue. I had like 1 or 2 hybrids and it was just, we're going left. So gone 7-wood. So for most people, they usually have a preference, right? If you walked up to anybody on a range, hey, do you like hybrids or fairway woods? They're going to tell you one or the other. And then that's the direction you would go for that 4-iron club. And maybe even 3-iron. Like, I fit a person 2 hybrid, 3 hybrid, 4 hybrid, 5-iron because they didn't like fairway woods. So it's one of those things where it's in that particular part of the bag. For me, I ask the preference, like, what do you like to look at? What do you like to hit?
It's funny you say that. I was scrolling TikTok and the old Freddie Couples video came up about how I think his first iron is a 7-iron. The whole top half of his bag is hybrids or woods.
Yeah, because they're functional, right? Like, he needs to hit them a certain height. They need to go a certain distance. I think we got to skip the I'm afraid of head covers, Alex. Like, we gotta figure that out. We got to figure that out.
Was that the second point you were going to bring up over here? You said you said you had 2 points. Oh, so now you're just throwing strays for no reason.
Yeah, that was a stray. The other thing was, we'll circle back to that, but it was the coffee thing. So we'll loop back the coffee later.
Okay. The head cover. Dude, I love head covers. I think they're so unique and fun. I will find a fun head cover and drop it in there.
It's not that I don't like the look of certain head covers. I don't like that I have to fumble through multiple head covers to get the club I want.
Well, you have specific ones for this club. You know, this one is
but then
7. This one's the 5.
I can't tell you the amount of times that like my 4-iron like slides up underneath my driver head cover. And then I'm sitting here like, where's my 4-iron? Freaking out. I'm like, oh, no, it's right there. So I have another head cover. That's going to happen with another club.
That's the absolute worst excuse I've ever heard for not having a club that you probably need.
He needs a 5-wood. I'm telling you.
I can see my bag right here. I've got 3 head covers in it. They're all different, so it's really easy to tell them apart.
3 head covers, including your putter cover, or 4 with the putter?
4 with the putter.
So I'm sitting at 5. It's not that bad.
It's not.
You fit me for a 7 or 5-wood, and then we'll talk. It'll have to be a virtual fitting here.
Do you hit mini off the deck?
Yes, actually.
cool, we're done.
And I can hit it well off the deck.
Like that was another thing that you were talking about, like how do you fit driver shaft, fairway shaft, right?
Yeah.
I don't always match like the exact shaft, but I always match the profile, right? So
Okay. Makes sense.
your swing, and it's something that I learned from one of the fitters at the Kingdom. So Dwayne Anderson is one of the fitters at the Kingdom. I think he's been like this is out now. It's on a couple YouTube things, but he realized like during fittings when you release the club and how fast you rotate it, your closure rate basically gives you a pool of basically, stiff butt, stiff tip, soft tip shaft profile wise. And by looking at a face on video of your driver swing, he can get you pretty close into the right profile that you're gonna need. And so I don't always match like exactly the same shafts, driver to fairways, but the profile is the same because you kind of deliver it similarly. Like your release pattern is going to be the same all through the clubs. So that's been a fun revelation this year.
Does profile have a direct relationship to swing weight?
So swing weights, obviously the biggest thing with swing weight is the head weight, but also swing weight can be very different. Like player preference on swing weight it can be infinite, right? Like I think Emiliano Grillo was in the playoff,
Just
whatever
last
event
week,
that
I
was.
think. I think it was just last
Yeah,
week.
last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
His driver swing weights like he goes in and tinkers and came out like super light. Like if you look at Tiger's basically like D4, like his whole life. So swing weight's one of those things where it's very, very specific and very personal to the player. But you can affect swing weight with grip, with if we're adding weight into the head, like you can move swing weight a bunch by doing the ends of the club. Grip or head makes the biggest change in swing weight.
So you don't generally try to get the same swing weight out of your driver, 3 wood, 5 wood, whatever top end of your bag is, just for consistency. All you care about is the profile.
Yeah, swing weight's going to be incremental, right? So theoretically, you want your 60-degree wedge to be your heaviest swing weight, and then your 3 wood's going to be the lightest of the clubs we hit off the ground, just because of the life. Driver's a little different because you're off a tee, so swing weight tends to be a little bit heavier, but in a relation, like if I'm building, I mean, again, a little bit of a golf sicko, like I know my swing weights are progressive. So my 4-iron to my 60-degree, 58-degree swing weight goes up a tenth or two all the way up.
Well, that's similar to what we were, I guess, talking about last week. Because, like I said, when I got the Acro shaft in my driver, it does make a 3 wood and I think a 2-iron model, which is different, essentially step down versions of the same profile. And that was the whole reason, was to keep the same profile through all of them. Now we threw a wrench in that when you and I ended up going with the Tour AD and that mini driver, and now my mind is off in a different spot. But that was the original theory, was keeping everything the same profile.
Yeah, so driver's always going to act just a little different because it's off a tee. So delivery is going to be different. Spin loft is going to be different. Driver is always the one where it's a little bit different. I'll almost always match fairway woods. Fairway woods will be the same shaft, and then weight goes up. So if we're in a 6X for driver and 3 wood is 7X, whatever that shaft is in 3 wood, we're doing 7X and 3 wood, X and 5 wood. We're just going to increment and go up in weight, right? So again, driver's the lightest shafts. 58's going to be the heaviest.
So, I mean, you have my credit card information. When are you sending me a 5 wood and a 8X Tour AD?
So I wanted to get your opinion on the different shafts, just like how the fitting. So I think Alex have had this discussion, and of course YouTube and other guys have tinkered with it, and it's kind of like going lighter with the driver. So you go lighter and then keep the same stiffness profile, or do you go possibly heavier with a lighter flex? So like a 70 is a 5X, and same profile, but have you tested or tinkered with that, or seen guys mess with that, and your thoughts?
Yeah, so the only time, like if we're just speaking like specifically driver, right?
Yeah, just driver.
If we use heavier versions, so like if a 6X is just ballpark it 115 club head, we're in an extra stiff. And then we're going to say 1 110 is a stiff. Someone that's like 112, we call them like a tweener, right? So they're not
Mm-hmm.
fast enough for an X. We'll give them a heavy stiff. And that's
Okay.
kind of how we solve that like gray area. That's kind of the only place where it's you have that option of like, I want to go like X, a light X or a heavy stiff, is if you're in between that kind of gray area swing speed wise.
Okay. Now, what about instead of going heavy, same weight class, but then tip to kind of change the profile a little bit?
So you're changing profile.
Okay. But how much
If
does
we're
that
changing,
affect it? Like if you take an inch off, how much does that affect it? Like say a Ventus red. Like if you say 6S Ventus red, but half, take an inch tip.
so you have to think about when you tip something,
Okay.
you're also making the handle stiffer because now we've added more material to the top head, to the top side of the shaft, right? And that's where the shafts are thickest, right? So the handle gets stiffer as well as the tip. So you're changing profile in two different places. So then it almost becomes, we need to make sure this is really the right thing to do to really to tip it that much. But like most people will tip something like a half inch to get
Mm-hmm.
it like where I love this feel. It's really close, but you know, flight's a little weird. So we'll tip it to really optimize it. But, tipping something an inch for me anyway, it's like maybe we should try something else. But if this is the best option, then yeah, we'll do that. But
Okay.
when you tip something, you're also changing how the handle feels because you're adding more material to the stiff part of the shaft.
One, I think it's important to note too when you're in a fitting and you're saying we're going to tip something, there's no way for you to simulate tipping a club, correct?
Yeah.
It's guessing that you think it's going to work based on the data you're saying. Similar to can't some fitters don't have loft and lie adjustment on their irons, right? So it's I should say lie, really. So I might go fit at someone that's not as qualified and they might not be able to go 2 degrees flat. So I'm having to predict what the ball flight is doing once I get 2 degree flat clubs.
Lie angle is a little easier, especially if you're fitting off grass. If you're fitting off grass, it's super easy. Like even if you don't have the fitting head, like realistically, if you're on grass, like a fitter should be able to fit you for lie angle just based on divot.
Mm-hmm.
So the easiest thing is if your lie angle's correct, your divot will be equal heel to toe. Doesn't matter front to back. If it's heel to toe with square, lie angle's good. I don't care if it's pointed 45 degrees left, lie angle's still good. Right? It's when you get the variations in, oh, the heel's digging or the toe's digging. It's like if I see the toe is digging, it's like, oh, okay, cool. We're going to go upright a little bit. I know what that does to ball flight and start line, but it's probably something we need because if your toe's down, you're probably missing it a certain direction.
Mm-hmm.
So lie angle is actually pretty easy if you're on grass. If you're on a mat, most driving ranges are mats. You have to take a Sharpie and draw a straight line on the ball. If the stripe isn't dead center of the club head, you know you have to make a change.
Yeah, I've done that before. It messed in my garage when I was having some issues and thinking I needed to flatten my clubs. That's exactly what I did with a Sharpie. It
Yeah,
works.
it's super easy. Like most people listening are either going to go hit on mats, or if you're on like hitting on grass is super easy because you just look down. It's like, hey, this toe is digging. These need to go up. So
Yeah,
lie is actually pretty easy.
Yeah. That
makes
was
perfect
my
sense.
thing. It's like before, like years ago, before I even got fit, it's just like I was swinging, look at the divot, look at my club head, and there's like a chunk of mud on the toe, and it's just like, it's easy. And then got that fixed.
So I guess just looking at time here because I do want to get into your coffee conversation. Give us
Yeah.
the a couple things that come top of head that people need to ask a fitter that they may not think of, especially if they're intimidated because they're going in. This is their first one. What are some things that people need to have in their mind that, okay, this is what I need to be on the lookout for. This is what I need to make sure I ask.
So first thing is, I don't need you to be perfect, right? I don't need the 20 best swings of your life, right? I need good, fair, honest swings, right? If you're a 20 handicap, you're gonna miss the ball both ways a couple of shots. But if you put your normal swing on it, then we have a good starting place. Some people come in and they're really tight and they're really anxious. They're like, I'm so excited for this. I want it to be perfect. And that's honestly the worst case scenario. Because if you come see me and it's the best ball striking day of your life, and we fit you into something, then you go play and you're back to your normal play, it's not going to work. And then it's like, well, I just bought these new clubs and did this fitting, and now none of it works. So my biggest thing is I need you to be relaxed. I need you to take deep breaths and just give me fair and honest swings. That's the first thing, because then your fitter has the correct data. Biggest thing is like people ask a ton of questions. They're like, what did that spin at? What did that launch at? Instead of looking at ball flight. Like the ball flight tells us everything. And like I'm looking at like three things. I'm looking at ball speed, descent angle, and dispersion. Like if you get those things right, all those other numbers will fall into place where they should be pertaining to that particular person, right? Like I know I'm a low spin guy everywhere. So I'm not going to spin a 7-iron at 7,000 RPMs. Like Alex, you might spin it at 75, but like that's what people think. It's like, okay, I should spin this 7-iron at 7,000 RPMs. So it's like, no, I don't need that much spin, or that's not enough because the descent angle is wrong or the dispersion's way off. And so that's the thing. It's like you want to know the things, but just looking at the ball will tell you a lot of what you need to know. So don't get all your mind in a pretzel about launch and spin and total distance, because then you just start swinging hard, right? And that's not what we need.
Well, when you say you don't need the 20 best swings, how many swings do you actually really need to comfortably fit someone? Good swings out of an hour. How much actual swings are you using for data?
Depends on what we're fitting for. Like if we're doing irons, I probably need like 4 for every shaft combination that I want to try. If it takes you 4 swings to get those 4, that's great. If it takes you 8, we're probably changing club heads anyway to something that's more forgiving, and then I can still try those shaft combinations.
No, I wanted to ask because I think I definitely got in that mindset when I first got fit, and I mean I've been fit multiple times now, so I at least know what to feel and everything when I'm going in. But you go in and you're like, no, I need to hit perfect shots, but y'all are actually getting just as much from the misses as you are the good shots. So it really doesn't matter. And it's important for people to know you don't have to put that many good shots together for you to still do your job.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I don't want people to, like, if I give you a combination that I think might work and it doesn't after like 1 or 2, I want to take it away because I know I have a certain amount of swings before the person gets tired, because nobody stands up and just beats balls for an hour at any point, right? Like unless you're an absolute range rat, like you can't stand up in a fitting and swing 100 times and tell me swing 1 was as good as swing 99. So biggest thing for me is when I want to control the pace of a fitting is I hold the golf balls. So I'll give you 3 or 4. If I want to take the club, I'm not going to give you any more golf balls. Right? Like when you're at the range, you have the bucket, you can rake and swing and rake and swing. If I'm fitting, I will toss you a ball after every shot if I want to see you hit another one. And if I don't, you don't have any balls, so you can't hit anything.
Pavlov's dog over here.
Yeah.
You want your treat? Give me your club first.
Yeah. I mean, I found like, people will, like, if you put the balls next to the mat, they'll just keep swinging and they'll swing as fast as they want. But if you take the balls away, they take a deep breath, they'll like look up, maybe they'll ask a question, maybe they won't, but they're not just like hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting. Because that's the worst thing. If I'm fitting you and you just gas yourself 15 minutes in, you still have like 40 minutes left to do anything else that you wanted to do, and now you're done.
You're done. Dude, I had a humbling experience on the range today. I've never really had issues, but going in the afternoon, Texas heat, and I was trying to cram it in, so I was going fast. I was in between finishing work and going to PGA and running errands and still trying to be home in time to cook dinner. And, man, freaking miserable because it was hot, and I think I got like 35 minutes in, and I legit like got shaky, like felt like I was about to pass out style. It's like my stamina is nowhere close to what it needs to be. Got to work out more.
Well, it's also like here today, it was 112.
Yes, all that.
Like if I want to go practice, like I'm gonna go practice tomorrow. I'm dropping the baby off at daycare and I'm on the range at like 8:30. Then I'm done at 10, but it's still 105 then. It's like, okay, we're going in the pool. We got to cool down. Like this is crazy. Like that's I know you're like if you're doing it to go spend time with the boys, that's great. I think
Yeah.
you going to practice at 4 o'clock in North Texas in July is the silliest thing you could do.
Dude, I'm playing PGA East
Mm-mm.
in what 3-4 days or something like that, and I haven't swung a club since last Sunday, in which it was a terrible range session, and time before that was a terrible round. So I was like, I gotta at least get myself somewhere where I'm not, hitting it into the thick rough, or that twilight round at East is gonna eat my lunch.
How do you feel? Do you feel better or worse?
I feel worse. Felt a lot worse.
Okay. Like
Hey,
you could have gone and you could have gone and putted for 30 minutes.
I didn't have any right misses. I got a lap putter. The thing pretty much putts itself.
You got a broomstick?
Okay, no, that was Jason, not me.
I used one. I liked it.
I feel like
Yeah.
you have to be over 45 to use that. Like if I brought out a broomstick,
Hey, wait a minute.
if I pulled out a broomstick in front of Mike on our guys trip, I think he would throw a golf ball at me.
I would not throw anything at you. I would make fun of you for the duration of the trip, but then you have the other 11 months where you're by yourself and you can do whatever you want.
I just got to worry about those 4 days that we're together.
Yeah, that's the thing for putting specifically, the first question I always ask is like, what do you like to look at? Because for me, in my experience, when people look down at something and they're uncomfortable, like there's no way that 8-footer's going in. Like there's no way. And so that's always how I start my putter fittings is what do you like to look at? Because then I can build something to make the ball do what I need it to do if something's off. But visually, like looking down, I need you to be comfortable. And so like I've putted with some of those zero torque stuff from different brands. And like personally, I can't start those online because of my setup, my posture, my pre-shot routine. I pull everything or I push everything. But I've also fit people into it and they make everything. And that's great. Like I think fitting for putting is the most fun because you get the most instant gratification when people start making putts because your scores get lower faster. So if you got to putt with a broomstick, you got to putt with a broomstick. I'm just going to flame you.
We do joke about the broomstick, but at PGA, of course, it's like a guy going to PGA Superstore is a girl going to Target. You wander around, you look, and so they had a broomstick there, and I did putt with it, actually, almost made a few, and I was like, okay, it does actually work. I liked it, but there's no way I'm putting that in my bag anytime soon.
Hey, I use it for a year and a half. It does work, but I also have a low back issue, so it helped me posture-wise, but I got just annoyed carrying that damn thing around, so that's why I switched out of it. But
you could also just get a longer putter.
That's true. I tried those putter. 38 counterbalance. I couldn't hit those. I could not hit a counterbalance 38 inch. That felt weird. It was like an in between. I was like, I need to go standard or broomstick.
Counterbalance is really all the handle weight. So could you not just go get a 38 and put a standard grip on it?
I guess you have to custom order that or get a.
You have to order them. So most stores will carry 34s, 35s, and maybe a 36. All of my putters are 6s, but they've all been custom ordered. Or I've been fit for all of them.
Correct. But I guess what I'm asking is, like at PGA, they had a counterbalance Oz. So it was at 38. Could you not go cut that grip off and put a standard putter grip on it? Because isn't the grip what's counterbalancing it? Not I guess the head, actually. The head is weighted different too, huh?
It'll depend on like the shaft and the grip. So some of them, like the Super Stroke grips, have those little like weights you can spin in and out of them. Like that's how they counterbalance them. But I've also seen when I've been like working on clubs and stuff, some of the old, I want to say they're the Stroke Labs, used to have like a lead bullet like in the top of the grip, in the top of the shaft. So if you wanted to lengthen that shaft, you had to like blow torch the plug out of it to extend it and then put it back in.
Okay. So it's not that easy then. So you'd have to go get a 36 and just put a standard grip on it. Because 36 isn't counterbalance. That's a standard. That's just a long putter.
Yeah. You can order anything from anybody up to, I think, close to like 38, just with like a standard grip. I mean, I fit some super tall people and it's like, cool, we're going to order this at 38 because you're 6'8". or whatever it may be. So you don't always have to go counterbalanced.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, let's get into this coffee talk. And Mike, I want to be clear. I know your lineage, and if you're going to dog my Cuban coffee,
no, I would never. I would never. I'll dog the second cup of coffee that you have after the Cuban coffee because that's sick.
What's wrong with black coffee?
A black coffee after a Cuban coffee is psychopathic behavior.
Like, are you saying it's too much caffeine?
Do you have them back to back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot right away.
That's a ton. Like, I know your background. I know, like, I've had construction trailer black coffee, and it's the worst thing ever. But, like, to have a Cuban coffee and then a black coffee, like, back to back, just doesn't make sense.
But how much caffeine is in, like, an energy drink these days?
I'd stay away from energy drinks.
100,
I have
200?
No idea.
Oh, it's got to have more than that.
It depends on the brand.
A Celsius, I think, has like 400, right? Okay, standard cup of coffee is anywhere from 80 to 120, and Cuban coffee is probably like maybe 200. So I'm having 300 milligrams. I'm fine.
Yeah, in a 10-minute span. Yeah, sure. I guess if you want to just chug caffeine.
Right.
Okay, that's...
Okay.
In fairness, the black coffee, I put it in my Yeti, and I drink it over like an hour and a half span. So it stays nice and hot. So it's not like I'm just like straight lining into my vein 300 milligrams.
But that's not what we saw in the last podcast.
I had to wake up at 5:30 in the morning. Had to get something to get me going, or I'd be just staring at the screen.
So the issue is, right, like the amount of excuses you have to make to justify the amount of coffee that you drink might be a problem.
I like this guy.
Might be a problem.
You know, when I originally told Mike that we were going to start this podcast, you know, his response was, "That's awesome. I'd love to be like a semi-regular person." I'm really rethinking that. I don't think
No, you've got my permission. I'm co-owner of this thing here, so
I really should have.
The actual thing about the coffee thing is, I think it changed for me when two things. When I got married, it changed, and then when I had a kid, it changed. So, like pre-marriage, it was, I don't really drink coffee. It's fine, like no big deal. I got married. My wife works in construction, drinks coffee. So when we got married, we had plenty of time. We would buy like premium beans, ground them at home, French press, like nice cup of coffee.
Right here.
Right? Like
right here.
That was the thing. Still have the grinder, still have the French press. Have not used it in 2.5 years. As soon as our child was born, K-cup.
Yep.
Did it hit the baby Keurig at the same time for formula as you hit your coffee Keurig? Just get both going.
It's so I have an appreciation for like nice premium like full bean coffee, but I just don't have time to drink that or make it. Like there's no way I'm making that cup of coffee in the morning.
No,
I'm a K-cup, extra strong, 12 ounces in the mug with a little bit of honey. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm up honey.
I'm up 30 minutes sometimes on the weekends because I'm like you. I want to grind my beans, stays fresh longer, better taste. Pour over, I'm a little slow with it because I like to make sure it soaks it in. And it's like a 10, 15-minute process by the time I start to get my cup. And it's like, I got to make sure toddler's still asleep. I don't have to go get them or worry about it. So I feel you on that.
And daylight savings has been tough. Like our toddler started waking up with the sun. So she's up at like 6:30, like 6:15, 6:30. Like I'm not waking up at 5:45 on a Saturday to make a cup of coffee.
No.
It's like, I want to. I wish I could.
Why would you want to wake up that early just to make coffee? Like you're waking up at some point there's a break even of wake up early and what the coffee actually does for you.
You know what? You should think about that.
I don't have to. It takes me 15 minutes to make my Cuban coffee.
There's a break even between a Cuban coffee and then an hour and a half of who drinks a cup of coffee over an hour and a half? Like, what are you doing?
We haven't even talked about the fact that I usually have a small coffee in the afternoon as well.
Oh, so that's new information.
Look, I'm in a lot of meetings during the day. Like I go, I used to joke, in the same Yeti, it'd be like coffee to water to a little bit of coffee to water, and then you get home and you pour, a bourbon or a tequila, and that's my cup for the day. Mike, I see your judgmental eyes here.
He's judged, and I'm just laughing like, how do you manage that?
That's just so much caffeine. Like if I drink a cup of coffee after like 3 o'clock, I'm like, I get the shakes. Like I'm just jittery. Like I cannot do it.
Jason and I did our episode, 2 weeks ago, where I had a Cuban coffee right before. I think I was finishing it. We
And then you
finished
had a
at,
black.
I'm going to say 11:30 or something, and I went right to bed. No issues.
Then why are you drinking coffee?
I don't know. I think it's just a support drink at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a
Now
crutch.
we've got to the end. We got to the bottom. You just drink coffee because you're used to drinking coffee. Like you don't actually need it.
No.
Maybe
It's
I like
just
the
a vice.
taste. It's a vice. We'll
No,
go
you
with
don't
that.
decaf.
You don't drink good coffee. You don't like the taste.
I like the taste. Hey, if you drink it after a Cuban coffee, it just tastes like a really mellow version of coffee. Like it's
What?
not bitter.
What coffee are you making right now? Like what's your standard cup?
Couldn't tell you. Whatever my wife buys. I don't know.
Jason, what's your standard cup of coffee?
In what regards?
Just when you're making a pour over, do you know exactly what it is?
Oh yeah, I know what I'm putting in. I know the flavor, the roast. I know exactly what I've got.
Look, it's form and function. Y'all are chasing form here. I just want the function of the coffee. I just need the caffeine. We're going to get moving.
Well, do you at least follow it up the Cuban with a decent black?
No, it's some sort of morning roast or breakfast roast. I don't know.
Let's loop this back into the head cover situation. Function. You need a functioning 5-wood. You need a head cover.
Yes.
In the bag.
Hey, if it makes you feel better, just don't put a head cover on it.
It gets all dinged up and scratched.
You're swinging it into the earth at 100 miles an hour.
Don't act like you know my swing. Maybe
It's going to be
80 miles
It's going to be
an hour.
scratched right away. Especially when you bring it out to show off to me and you're going to duff one to the right.
That toe shank on the very first one you hit with a new fairway wood is like, it's perfect. Also, I do want to circle back to what you guys think is in my bag right now. Because I heard the comments of PXG wants to make you buy everything.
That was all him. That was all him.
Hey, it's nothing I haven't said to him directly. I'm not hiding it.
Actually, yeah. Let's close this out. What do you got in your bag?
So I'm 50-50 actually. So I have QI35 driver, and I play a 16.5 fairway wood, so a 4-wood, and then QI35 7-wood, and then I have PXG 0317 irons 4 to pitching wedge. I have TaylorMade wedges 50, 54, 58. And then my putter rotates. Putter's the only thing that I keep. Anything else that, like, if it's not in my bag, it gets sold, it gets traded in, it gets given to somebody who plays golf. So putter's the only thing I keep. I've got 3 that I rotate. I've got a TaylorMade Spider Mini that I rotate. I've got a PXG Battle Ready 2 Bandon, and then I have a TaylorMade TP with an LA Golf shaft in it that I rotate. So I think the PXG putter is about to come out, and the TaylorMade Bandon is about to go in. Go play.
What's the rotate for? Is it
I was
feeling, or is it course related, like speed of green related, or?
No. So they're all 3 of them were fitted, so they're all fit putters, but they're different shapes. So I've got a big blade, a mallet, and then I've got that fang shape. So I'll play a putter for a month or 2. So this is I've played all 3 of them already this year. I started with the TaylorMade with the LA Golf in it. I started with that in January, and I'll probably go back to it the next 2 months. We'll see how it goes. I've got a tournament I'm playing in August, and then golf trip is in September. So we'll see what that looks like. I'm only going to bring 1 on both of those trips, so we'll see what they look like. So for now, it's half and half.
Anything new getting in the bag, or are you done for the time being?
I'll get new wedges in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
The new wedges should come out, and I'll get new wedges, but probably not. The woods won't change. The irons won't change. I'll change the wedges because they're 2 or 3 years old, and then we'll rotate putters. So nothing. I should be done for now. And thankfully, like working in golf, I have access to all the things all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I only tinker when I just get bored. So like working in Nevada and Texas, July and August, it's so hot. It's our off season basically. So if I'm going to tinker, I do it now before I get into like the stuff I play in the fall. So nothing's going to change unless I buy the new wedges in the fall, and those won't be anything different. Same shafts, same lofts, same everything will be the same. It'll just be plug and play, just getting fresh grooves.
Yeah, I've already told Mike that that's my next go-to, and I'm saving him for my wedges. When you get down to Corpus, I'll drive down there and we'll play some and do a little fitting.
I'll come to you. It's fine. I can
You
fit wedges.
You gonna bring your TrackMan with you?
Don't need it for wedges. Do not need it for wedges. I can do it by sight and sound. It's fine.
Maybe I just want to do TrackMan for a few days.
Yeah, possibly.
I don't know. I
You
want to
can
tinker.
go to your indoor place.
Nah, I don't want to do that. I don't like hitting indoors.
Because he goes league golf and plays it once a week.
I don't like hitting indoors.
Okay, first off, it's like once every 2 to 3 weeks. Like it wasn't last week, it wasn't this week. It's next week. You two together. You know, this is.
I do want to say one thing fitting wise though, and not a ton of people do it or think about it. Like the most important thing is the golf ball. Like fundamentally the most important thing because you hit it on every shot. And I think it gets overlooked when people get fit. But it's literally like we do it as fitters like during the fit. Like obviously I'm going to recommend a ball that works for you of whatever brand that I'm working for at the time. But my biggest thing is make sure you play the same ball all year. And don't play found balls, don't play water balls. Like go to the store, crack a fresh box, but play the same ball all year. Like do your ball testing in January if you live somewhere warm, or in March or April, like beginning of your year, pick 2 or 3 options, go ball test green backwards. And then whatever ball you pick, whether you're right or wrong, play that all year. Because you know what it's gonna do around the greens when you get to like member guest, your buddy's trips or whatever. I'm so sick of I ask people every fitting, what ball do you play? And they're like, whatever I find. Like I know that is the worst answer that I get. It's like go to Costco, buy a Kirkland, go to Dick's, buy the Max Fly. Like you don't have to spend a ton of money, but go play the same ball all year.
No, that's 100% correct. And December, January, February, usually my test. I'll go buy a handful of sleeves of various balls, and then by March, I'm back in what I'm always in, which is a Pro V1X. But I've tried a Strixon XV, I've tried the TP5, TP5X. I've tried all of pretty much the top brands balls every year, and it always ends up back where it is. But I do exactly what you're talking about. Then that is important.
Brands make a new version of their ball every 2 years. So most companies are on a 2-year cycle. They're not all the same 2 years, but it's 2 years. So you may not have to do it every year, but you got to do it.
Yeah, one of the brands is changing, so you might as well try it.
Yeah,
typically.
Yeah.
Well, good. No, that's great information. We may or may not have you back. I think.
No, you're coming back.
If I'm in control, that's never. No, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you. Sharing some insight on the fitting process. Jason and I have been through it quite a bit. We're gearheads. That's not everyone. So great feedback and great input to have from you. So we appreciate your time for sure.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Thanks for having me. Sorry we had the little delay, but we're dads. So
hey, that's what we are. We're
kids
dads.
Gotta go to bed.
Yeah, we're flexible. It's 12 here my time, so my wife should be asleep already, gets her sleep, so it works out for us. But we
Mine's
appreciate
about to wake
it.
up actually.
Oh no.
Got to get that phone call in real quick.
Yeah, she's about to wake up. I think London's 8 hours from where we are, so
Yeah, I think it's 6 from us, so well,
Yep.
perfect. Well, everyone, please just remember, follow, Spotify, YouTube. I'm sure we'll have Mike on again, as much as I don't want to, but we appreciate it, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
see ya.
All right. Thanks, Mike.